Pete here with smallbusinessresourcecenter.com and Small Business Resource Center YouTube channel. So the Republicans are proposing a skinny or small stimulus bill right now, and I'm going to go into all the details why. If you're new to the channel, smash the subscribe button. If you're a repeating subscriber, thank you for subscribing, and smash a like button because this information is for you. Well, Nancy Pelosi set up an emergency meeting, if you saw my video the other week, for a $25 billion relief package for the post office. Keep in mind, when they're worried about mail-in ballot and Amazon, they had an emergency meeting. When there was talk of not passing the stimulus package for you people, you people being citizens as well as small business owners, there's no emergency meeting. So I'm not trying to get political, but people seem to be complaining and stating that I am. I'm just stating the facts. So the Republicans said that, or the postmaster actually said they don't need $25 billion. I'm just putting it out there. And this is real news. You can look it up. Basically, it's the truth, and that's what I'm reporting. Keep in mind, Democrats would not meet to iron out the problems with the stimulus package or pass things that were agreed upon by Democrats and Republicans. So they would not pass stimulus checks or other information. They just had an emergency meeting for the $25 billion. So what the Republicans are proposing is called Delivering Immediate Relief to American Families, Schools, and Business Act. What this basic proposal is of course, they're calling it a skinny version of their original proposal to get people back to work, back to school, and businesses operational. So it has liability protection from December 2019 to October 1st, 2024. Now, honestly, when I'm looking at that 2024 date, has me a little bit worried because I'm like thinking, is the government expecting problems for 4 more years because of this? Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think? Comment below. The liability protection in place is for gross negligence and willful misconduct, stating that if a business doesn't do anything, they don't follow any precautions, unless they do something like that, you can't really sue them. But you have to keep in mind, it's very difficult to be able to state that you got the coronavirus somewhere. And if you're high risk, you may not want to go places that you feel would be dangerous. So you can take your own precautions. But these laws are designed that it's almost impossible to sue somebody. And if you do sue someone, you can only get punitive damages, which are a very small amount. Meaning if you got the coronavirus and got sick, you can't now sue your local restaurant for $10 million for pain and suffering or whatever. You know, in 2 weeks you're fine, and all of a sudden you think you're going to win a lawsuit for $10 million. You just won't be able to do that. Also with unemployment and pandemic unemployment assistance, what they're currently proposing is $300 a week until December 27th, 2020, instead of the $600 weekly amount. And the reason why Republicans have stated time and again that they want to reduce it is because they feel that a lot of people are not going back to work because they're getting paid more to be unemployed. So that's in the proposal. Also in the proposals, the Paycheck Protection Program and the Paycheck Protection Loans. They would be getting extra funding. For round 2, it would be funded till December 31st, 2020. And that would also include additional provisions like property damage and looting, obviously so people can repair their businesses if they need it and get those businesses back open. Essential supplies needed for businesses. So that's, you know, things might be inventory if you're a food business. Things that you need for safety. So that can be like a drive-through window, ventilation systems, screens, barriers, protective equipment, tools. What they will not provide for is money to expand your business or money to purchase real estate. The other things that they want to change are for loans under $150,000. They're going to have a self-attestment, so there's no documentation required like they were requiring before. And as long as you self-attest that you need the funds, they will provide these funds to you. So as an alternative to the EIDL, which for some reason became very difficult for so many people to get, this actually seems like, in my opinion, a good alternative because they're allowing you to get a paycheck protection loan with, if they keep those terms the same, a 1-year deferment. And then also, this sounds like it's going to be much easier to get. You don't also only have to keep records for 1 year, and keep in mind the Paycheck Protection Program loan can be forgiven if you do the paperwork easily. So this is very, very simple. For loans that are going to be 150,000 to 2 million, there's also no documentation needed, but there's 3 years record retention. And if you made less than 35% of last year for the certain quarter, then you are eligible to get the programs. Keep in mind right now, they already have the 3508 easy form, and I did have a video on that. I'll put it in a link in the description. Right now, most banks are not accepting forgiveness applications, and they do not have the 3508, the long form application, which most larger businesses are. But if for some reason you do want to be prepared, I'll put the link in the description for the 3508 easy form for independent contractors and small business owners. That would be under $2 million in payroll. What I recommended, by the way, is simply fill out the forms online with the instructions I have. That way, when the banks are accepting applications, you can simply fill in or print the information, give it to your bank, or if you're going to use an online form, you'll be able to just type in the numbers and the information that you already have on the form. Probably make it very easy. So that information is in the description. The one problem I do see is a gap, like they mentioned before, and I didn't find any information, because keep in mind payroll was defined as a maximum $100,000. But if you're an independent contractor, small business owner, you can easily have more than $100,000 yearly income. If you're not structured correctly, they were capping you at 100,000, but you could use more funding than that 100,000 total yearly. So that's one thing I think they do need to focus on. So just want to put that out there. I did not see anything on that changing. Next part of the Delivering Immediate Relief to American Families, Schools, and Small Businesses Act, the Republicans are proposing $105 billion for schools, about $5 billion for emergency education and relief grants, about $700 billion for school relief to help schools reopen in 2020 and 2021, to get physical attendance in schools. So that can be used for sanitation, healthcare, technology, barriers, personal protective equipment, and almost $300 billion to go to higher education, colleges, and very similar programs to get people back into colleges. So I'm going to think that most of that funding will go to state colleges and not private institutions, because you have to keep in mind that, what's being done. So the Postal Service also is supposed to get $10 billion with this proposal. That's $15 billion less than the Democratic proposal. But keep in mind that the Republicans said that this is a first step for negotiations, and they could request more money if they need it. And also the Postmaster General stated that they don't need $25 billion. So just want to keep that in mind. Healthcare would get $29 billion for healthcare and social services. $16 billion would go to coronavirus testing, tracing, tracking, and services, including vaccines, countermeasures, and telehealth, which a lot of that's being done right now anyways. But for the Republicans, there is no funds for stimulus checks. There's no HEROES funds. There's no rent relief or mortgage forbearance. This is actually just the first part of the bill, and they did say that they're open to negotiations, but I just think they should have put some of that stuff in already. That's my opinion. I'm sure some of you would probably agree. And the Republicans basically have geared this proposal to businesses and opening schools mainly, and not providing some essential relief for of course, directly to the people, or for rent relief and mortgage forbearance. So hopefully this negotiation will be quick, and hopefully they'll pass something very soon. I don't know what your thoughts are. Do you think there's something that they should include? Comment below. If this information helped you, of course, smash a like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and share this with a friend. Have a great day.